Hello everyone, welcome to Consultaire and interningiq.com to conduct a document review utilizing equipment and utensils program under the SQF Module 11.1.7. First, check if the document title matches the uploaded file name on the dashboard. In this instance, we do have the same titles as Equipment and Utensils program. Next, both must have the same document code. For this example, we do have 11.1.7. And since this is a template, we indicate the PCQI as the account initials. However, we can customize the code based on the company's initials. For the page number, we use the page X of Y format. Ensure that it reflects the current page position and the total page number of the document. Then here, insert the company logo together with the company name and company address. And you may enter the designated department. For the originated by section, it can be the food safety, quality assurance, or the quality control personnel of the company. The originator ensures the implementation of the quality management and document control system. Enter the name of the originator, affix the signature, position title, and the date originated. Next we have is the reviewed by section. It can be personnel assigned in the quality management department who reviews the drafted document or its revision for accuracy and implementation. Again, enter the name of the reviewer, affix the signature, position title, and the date reviewed. Next we have is for the approved by section. It must be the person in the C-level management who has the approval authority. Enter the name of the approver, affix the signature, position title, and the date approved. For the revision date, it is the date the same as the date originated or drafted by the author. For the effective date, it is the date the document was signed and approved. The publication date is when the document is published for distribution and initiated personal training. The implementation date is when the document is distributed and personal training is completed. For the supersedes, put original for the initial issuance of the document, and for any revision, reflect the initial revision date before the current revision. Please be reminded that this section must be properly filled out to be compliant. Now, we will focus on the components of the program. First, we have is the purpose. The purpose is the implementation of any certification standard or compliance with regulatory requirement. And for this program, it is for the implementation with the SQF 11, Edition 9 for food manufacturing under Clause 11.1.7. Under purpose, we have to implement SQF 11.1.7.1, specifications for equipment and utensils, and procedures for purchasing equipment shall be documented and implemented. Next, to implement SQF 11.1.7.2, equipment and utensils shall be designed, constructed, installed, operated, and maintained to meet any applicable regulatory requirements and to not pose a contamination threat to products. To implement SQF 11.1.7.3, equipment storage room shall be designed and constructed to allow for the hygienic and efficient storage of equipment and containers. Where possible, food contact equipment shall be segregated from non-food contact equipment. To implement SQF 11.1.7.4, product contact surfaces and those surfaces not in direct contact with food in food handling areas, raw material storage, packing storage, and cold storage area shall be conducted of materials that will not contribute to any food safety risk. To implement SQF 11.1.7.5, benches, tables, conveyors, mixers, mincers, graders, and other mechanical processing equipment shall be hygienically designed and located for appropriate cleaning. Equipment surfaces shall be smooth, impervious, and free from cracks or crevices. Next, to implement SQF 11.1.7.6, product containers, tubs, and bins used for edible and inedible material shall be constructed of materials that are non-toxic, smooth, impervious, and readily clean as per 11.2.5.1. Bins used for inedible material shall be clearly identified. To implement SQF 11.1.7.7, all equipment and utensils shall be cleaned after use. or at a set and validated frequency to control contamination and be stored in a clean and serviceable condition to prevent microbiological or cross-contact allergen contamination. Next, to implement SQF 11.1.7.8, vehicles used in food contact, handling, or processing zones or cold storage room shall be designed and operated so as not to present a food safety hazard. To implement SQF 11.1.7.9, non-conforming equipment shall be identified, tagged, and/or segregated for repair or disposal in a manner that minimizes the risk of inadvertent use, improper use, or risk to integrity or finished product. Records of handling, corrective action, and/or disposal of non-conforming equipment shall be maintained. Second, we have scope. The scope of the program is based on the purpose and serve as a guide in defining and describing the layout of the procedure. Under scope, we have specification for equipment and utensils, protective clothing, identification of food contact and non-food contact containers, specification documents, purchasing procedures for new equipment or being repaired or modified, tagging of non-conforming equipment, cleaning and sanitation. Third, we have is the policy. The policies are the rules set by the company as their implementation guide. And we have here the specification for equipment and utensils and purchasing equipment are documented and implemented. The specification outlines all the technical details and requirements that the site has in the mind for the equipment and utensils. Food processing equipment is designed and maintained by manufacturing and or industry standards. Metal frames support and bracket supporting sinks, wash basins, benches, tables, and shelves are generally constructed of solid materials such as hot-dip, galvanized iron, stainless steel, or aluminum and securely fixed to the walls or on metal frames. The equipment is smooth finish, free-form angles, ledges, and crevices, and easy to clean. The open ends of tubular legs or rails are sealed to prevent the accumulation of process waste and residues. Equipment that is dismantled for cleaning is designed to be free or loose bolt and nuts, other objects that could inadvertently find their way into a food product or provide points for accumulation of food waste. Containers used for inedible food or materials are identified, examples, color-coded or labeled. Containers previously used for pesticides, insecticides, or other deleterious material are not reused for product handling. Written procedures for purchasing of equipment are available. The procedure outlines the process in which equipment is identified, purchased, and installed on the site. All equipment and utensils are cleaned after use or a set and validated frequency to control contamination. Clean equipment and utensils are stored in a manner that microbiological or cross-contact allergen contamination is avoided. This policy statement covers general provision for new, repaired, under repair, and modified equipment, utensils, protective clothing, and includes benches, tables, and bins, do not pose a threat to product safety. Fourth, we have is the procedure. The procedure is a step-by-step process and the actual implementation of the policy. First, we have here the specifications for equipment and utensils. Consider the following requirements in designing, purchasing, and installing plant equipment and utensils. Material and workmanship are designed to be adequately clean and following manufacturer and/or industry standards. Please see approved equipment list. The design, construction, and use of equipment and utensils preclude the adulteration of food with lubricants, fuel, metal fragments, contaminated water, or any other contaminants. Design equipment that is dismantled for cleaning free of loose bolts and nuts or other objects that could contaminate the food. Install the equipment in such a way to facilitate cleaning, including all adjacent spaces. Choose corrosion-resistant and non-toxic materials for food contact surfaces. Choose a design that could withstand the environment of their intended use and the action of food, and if applicable, cleaning compounds and sanitizing agents. Maintain food contact surfaces to protect food from being contaminated by any source, including unlawful indirect food additives. Ensure that seams of food contact surfaces are smoothly banded or maintained to minimize the accumulation of food particles, dirt, and organic matters, and thus minimize the opportunity for the growth of microorganisms. Construct non-food contact equipment located in the manufacturing or food handling area that it can be kept in a clean condition. Identification of food contact and non-food contact containers. Apply label or color coding schemes to all containers, examples, tubs, bins, and etc. used in the food manufacturing facility. Containers or color coded, white or stainless containers are to be used for food contact only. Yellow for material containing allergens, green for unorganic line, blue used for on-hold items, red for non-food or rejected materials. Next, specification documents. Fill out the equipment general specification form when purchasing equipment. Specification documents are developed to include detailed descriptions or features of the item being purchased, such as what is needed for the equipment and how the equipment will be used, specific features, capabilities, or construction materials that are needed for the equipment, durability of the item, regulatory requirements, manufactured and designed for use in the food site, any required certifications of approvals, ease and use of cleaning, a receiving document to verify delivery and installation instructions, the type of power source, quantity needed, plumbing needs, drainage requirements, special options or features, service or maintenance requirements, warranty, energy rating, freight and delivery requirements, tear down and installation requirements, and cleaning limitations or requirements. Purchasing procedures for new equipment or being repaired or modified. This procedure outlines the process in which equipment is identified, purchased, and installed on the site. It is designed to assist in the purchasing decision and choosing the right equipment to handle the task. Things that are considered include, but not inclusive to the following: regulatory requirements. All equipment used in the establishment meets the criteria of the standards and parameters of design and construction, which was the policy of the USDA Equipment Branch. Conditions and requirements when purchasing refurbished equipment: meet the usability per specification, meet the cleanability per SSOPs, meet criteria of standards and parameters of design and construction per USDA. Refer to section 4.4.1.4. Conditions. Members that are to be in the purchasing committee: QA manager, sanitation supervisor, engineering personnel, maintenance manager. Conditions. Equipment designs and cleanability. Processing, packaging, and storage equipment are designed and maintained to ensure safe and wholesome product. All contact surfaces are smooth and maintained free of pits, crevices, and scale. Equipment is designed and maintained to allow access and disassembly for cleaning and inspection. Have some smooth and impervious contact surfaces, including conveyor belts. Product contact surfaces to be at least 18 inches from the floor or protected from contamination. Equipment with items attached to product contact surfaces has clearance. The product zone is free of recesses, open seams, gaps, and protruding ledges inside threads, inside shoulders, bolts, rivets, and dead ends. Bearings, including greaseless bearings, are not located in or above the product zone unless catch pans are provided. In addition, bearings are constructed so that the lubricant does not leak, drip, or be forced into the product zone. Next, we have the confirmation from equipment vendors on acceptance of specification before manufacturing, modification or repair, and confirmation or any installation specification that may affect food safety. And you may refer to the purchase and service contracts. Next, tagging of non-conforming equipment. Identify, tag, and or segregate non-conforming equipment such as those for repair or disposal. Cleaning and sanitation. Clean all equipment and utensils after use. You may refer to the equipment and utensils SSOP. Fifth is the responsibility. The responsibility of the person is indicated. It covers what to perform to comply with the procedure and the policy. First off, we have is the purchasing. Purchase equipment and utensils based on the standard requirement outlined in this program. Maintenance. Coordinate with the personnel or identifying equipment and utensil specifications to be purchased and installed. Design and construct equipment and utensils based on the standard requirements outlined in this program. Quality. Conduct a risk assessment on the equipment and utensils to be purchased. Verify compliance of all equipment and utensils used in the food processing area to the standards outlined in the program. Ensure proper cleaning of equipment after every use. 6. We have is the corrective action. The corrective action is the process of taking appropriate steps to eliminate causes of nonconformities or other undesirable situations. Under corrective action, if the equipment and utensils do not conform to the required specifications, redesign and modify the equipment based on the standard requirements. 7. Is the review quality. The review section serves as a guidelines for conducting the annual or periodic review. Annual review of compliance to equipment and utensils requirements by observing the following. First, we have is the food processing equipment is properly designed, food processing equipment is properly maintained, food contact utensils are properly designed, food contact utensils are properly maintained, containers for inedible materials are correctly labeled, wastewater and overflow from tanks and tubs are properly drained. Protective clothing is provided that is fit for purpose. Protective clothing is provided that is made of material that will not contaminate food and is easily cleaned. There is a cleaning process in place for protective clothing. Properly designed racks are provided for protective clothing. Protective clothing is stored in an area accessible to staff. 8. We have is the reference documents. The reference documents are the set of documents used to implement and monitor a program, policy, and procedure. And under reference documents, we have approved equipment list, equipment visual inspection checklist, equipment general specification, post-maintenance and cleaning, foreign object inspection, equipment lockout tagout, equipment and utensils SSOP. 9. We have is the references. The reference section is composed of guides utilized to implement the program. Examples are the certification guide, regulation, and other widely accepted scientific journals, research, and the like. It is also must comply with the standard format citation, which can be based on either MLA, APA, Chicago style, and update access date. And under reference, we have the SQF Module 11, Edition 9 for Food Manufacturing, Section 11.1.7, Equipment and Utensils. Next, 21 CFR 111, Current Good Manufacturing Practice in Manufacturing, Packing, and or Holding Human Food. Lastly, we have is the history. The history section is where we can update the program if there are any changes or revisions made in the document. If there is a revision, enter the revision number, the revision date, the description of change, originator or the author name, the title or the department of the author or the originator. Thank you for participating in this document review. Content presented are for training purposes only and are based on the interpretation of standards and best practices and must be customized for your intended use. To fully customize your programs, policies, procedures, forms for records, and lessons for training, you may contact Interlink IQ or Consultor Inc. at services@interlinkiq.com or simply call 202-982-3002. And for free access, you may visit interlinkiq.com. Thank you for participating in this document review. Content presented are for training purposes only and are based on interpretations of standards and best practices and must be customized for your intended use. To fully customize your programs, policies, procedures, forms for records, and lessons for training, you may contact Interlink IQ or Consultor Inc. at services@interlinkiq.com or simply call 202-982-3002. For free access, visit interlinkiq.com.